Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here once again with another video on Arrow Season 7. And this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 20 for this season, otherwise entitled Confessions. But of course, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch the trailer.
We've got 2 dead guards and one hell of a mess. We got arrows at the crime scene.
She's covering for her husband. I didn't do it.
Goodbye, brother.
What do you want?
So last episode was obviously a big episode for Diggle. It was obviously called Spartan. We all got that before we even watched the episode. So it was interesting to see some certain reveals, some cool little Green Lantern references and everything like that. But one of the bigger things was Oliver revealing the truth to Emiko that Dante was actually the one that killed her mother. Even though it did seem that maybe Emiko had that thought going through her mind before, but never really believed it, or at least needed someone to, bring that point up to her again and have, come to that conclusion as well. So maybe she just wasn't the only one thinking that, and she was, just wasn't jumping to conclusions. And well, she did what she should have done, and I think what was fitting, even though I saw people complaining about it, I think it fit. And she drove a couple of arrows into Dante and then drove a knife into his heart, basically. And killed him. So Emiko has killed Dante. So Emiko, the only person really that we know of in the Ninth Circle, at least higher up in the Ninth Circle. I know there's Virgil, but who cares about Virgil? But we'll talk about more about Emiko towards the end of this video and some concerns that people have. But of course, before we jump into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis or description for the episode, which gives us much more than the actual trailer gives us, which is really surprising. But of course, let me know in the comment section down below what you're looking forward to most in this episode, or what catches your eye in the trailer and all of that. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, why not drop a like on it to show support. When they learn of an upcoming attack on the city, Team Arrow calls Roy Harper to help them stop the Ninth Circle. However, things go awry and there is massive collateral damage. As captain of the SCPD, Dinah investigates what happened in an episode that takes on a true crime narrative and tone. But we start off the trailer by seeing and also hearing about 2 security guards that have been struck and killed by arrows. In regards to what area this is, I have no clue, to be honest. I'm going to take a guess and just say this is a factory of some kind. And this is almost like the change room or just locker area, as I think. There might not be, but I think at least there's some lockers in the background right here. But in regards to what this factory is for, you would have to think it would be tied to something that links with the person who fired the arrows at the security guards, which we will jump into in a second, as it is going to be interesting to see how all of that plays out in the episode. But this area sort of looks like the hideout that was used at the I think it was the beginning of Arrow Season 4. The one that was in Parmatech. It was like a secret compartment in Parmatech. If it's not, and it is from something else used on the show in the past, let me know, but it just looks incredibly familiar. But yeah, we can see Dinah is the first of the main characters to deal with these dead security guards, obviously, well, due to her job. But you can tell that she isn't very pleased. She doesn't have the happiest look on her face. And that will be due to what the guards have been killed by, and as I said before, that's arrows, but specifically green arrows. So obviously, Oliver is he's in some trouble now. Or some potential trouble, we should say. Now, I really hope this isn't an episode where they dwell on this for a ridiculous amount of time within the episode, and it's just like a hiccup or like a road bump that Oliver has to deal with, before moving on to other stuff in the episode. But obviously, the person who is setting up Oliver in this situation would be his half-sister, that being Emiko. Now, in the trailer, at one point, you do get a quick shot of Emiko suited up as her version of the Green Arrow. However, this could be a shot from an older episode. I really can't tell just due to the background. It's just like a brick background or something like that. But even then, I don't think she would have to wear the full on suit to frame Oliver. Maybe she wears it, in just in case of some security cameras being around and not wanting to get caught in the act. But I guess we'll have to wait until the actual episode airs to, find out exactly what goes on in regards to all of that. Now, I am actually interested to see how they just come to the conclusion that it was Oliver, because they knew that there was a new Green Arrow around while Oliver was in prison. So I'm guessing these guards were associated with something that Oliver would be targeting, maybe? I'm guessing that's how they're going to tie it all back to Oliver. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Now, we do at one point really briefly in the trailer see Oliver taking on one of those masked people working with the Ninth Circle. Now, since they were introduced, we've just assumed that they are the Burned from the comics, who are just mindless workers for the Ninth Circle, but with higher skills, basically military-like. Now, we did see Ricardo Diaz burned alive thanks to Emiko setting him on fire many episodes ago. So I am sort of just waiting for one of those masks on one of those dudes to just, fall off and show a heavily burned Ricardo Diaz. I guess the big question around that is whether he is all there mentally or just completely mindless and under the control of the Ninth Circle. Sort of like those people that maybe Damien Dark had working for him. I think they were called the Ghosts or just Ghosts or something like that. Anyway, I think that will be something that happens. Maybe Diaz being revealed as one of those dudes. I guess it just matters like when that will happen, not if. Now, it is obvious why Emiko is going to the lengths that she is in regards to targeting her brother and doing all that stuff that we see in the trailer. And that's just because, well, let's just be honest, he just keeps getting up in her business. It's probably getting quite annoying for her. And even that point in the trailer that we see Emiko sort of activate that device she's holding and something blows up behind Oliver. I'm not too sure what it is, to be honest, and it almost looks like it blows up from underneath or something like that, like dirt's popping up, but then Oliver's running towards it. Maybe it's the wall blowing in. It's a weird shot and sort of hard to get a grip on what is exactly going on there. But I do keep the faith that Emiko isn't actually trying to kill Oliver, but she is just, sick of him getting in the way of what she is trying to do. Whether that be to, whether that she's actually trying to complete the mission that, that was revealed last episode, or to just go along with it for the most part, just to get into a certain position that she wants to be in. But we will talk about Emiko a bit more in a second, and a concern I know myself and others have about the last 3 episodes of the season with her character. Now, the synopsis does talk about Dinah's story in the episode being a bit of a whodunit sort of storyline, but I don't think that will take up too much of the episode, maybe just the first half at most, because I honestly couldn't see the episode focusing on Dinah for that much, but I know, surprise me, Arrow, and prove me wrong. But as it is revealed in the synopsis or description, and what I probably or most likely put in the title of this video, Roy Harper is back. Now, he isn't in the trailer, and I really, really dislike or hate it when the shows do this. So they release other promo material, like a description or title, but then they have nothing to do with that in the actual trailer. So for example, we first had Godspeed for The Flash, and now we have Roy Harper or Arsenal for this trailer. Anyway, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if all this Oliver being framed drama is just in the opening 10 to 15 minutes of the episode, and Roy Harper is brought in straight after that. Or he could even be contacted while Oliver is going through all that drama, just in case Oliver is, being held up, and they sort of need a helping hand in what they're doing and, taking on the Ninth Circle. Now, from the sounds of it, going off set photos and just the, the cast taking photos on set as well, it does seem that Roy Harper will be back in the present day storyline for the rest of this season until the finale. No clue if he'll be in too much of the future stuff. I'd guess maybe the last episode or two. But I'm not saying it's 100% the case that he'll be in all of the present day stuff until the finale, but it does appear that way. So if that's the case, that's great. Now with Roy, we have seen him a lot in the future stuff this season, even though he hasn't been seen for a few episodes now, but that is most likely due to the fact that he was going to be featuring heavily in the present day stuff in the last few episodes. So maybe they gave Colton Haynes, who plays Roy, a bit of a break from filming or something like that, who knows. But in the future, we know he is alive, obviously, and also that Nyssa Al Ghul is alive, as we saw her training a young Mia Smoke in the Star City 2040 episode, and we know that Roy and Nyssa went on the Lazarus Pit adventure last season, but who else went with them? Well, that would be Thea. So what about Thea? Well, Thea's fate and just whether she is alive or dead in the future has been a massive question asked by many people ever since Roy showed up in the flash forwards back in episode 1. So it will be interesting to see if she is mentioned in detail in this episode, or whether it is just a passing mention of the character, which really doesn't give us too much of an idea as to what is exactly going on with her. I mean, it would be strange if they killed her off screen, but I guess it's still a chance of happening, and Roy was on Lianne Yu alone, almost in self-exile, so who knows what happened between them two, or just specifically Thea, but it wouldn't surprise me in this episode if Roy just goes, oh yeah, Thea's in Barbados on the beach, or something like that, as a random line, just to say that she's alive, but they don't have to go into too much detail, but we'll wait and see. Now, as I was alluding to before, there is a bit of a worry going into the last 3 episodes with Emiko and the possibility that she is the big bad, and I pray to the Arrow Lords or Bebo, the Lord of the Arrowverse, whoever is up there and is listening, I really hope Emiko isn't the big bad. I think it's a lot of disrespect to her comic book counterpart, and this season has done a really good job, I think, of respecting the characters for the most part. Some blips here and there, but I think it's just maybe some inconsistency with writers jumping in and out. But I think in regards to like looking at the characters as a whole, they've been very consistent. I think Emiko's been fairly consistent, but I really hope in these last 3 episodes she just doesn't turn into this like massive evil big bad who just wants to destroy everything. Because I don't think Emiko's motive, or her, I just don't think she has enough motive to go and do that. I just don't feel that with their character. So hopefully there is another flop or flip and a flop from Emiko in these last 3 episodes, and maybe it's a twist in the finale where she goes to the good guys, and maybe the Ninth Circle, goes into season 8 and it continues, because there's going to have to be some sort of threat next season, and I don't think they'd introduce a new threat for the last 8 episodes, really, presuming that the crossover is in episode 9. So let's just hope maybe that Emiko coming back to the good guys is a twist in episode 22 or something, and then maybe she's helping next season and there's something else going on with the Ninth Circle. Maybe there's an actual reveal of the proper big bad for the Ninth Circle in the finale that makes us all go, oh my god. And if you read the comics and have read the Ninth Circle story, you might get a hint as to what that could possibly be. And also Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, teased a while ago that there might actually not even be a big bad for this season, so keep that in mind as well. And sometimes when Steven teases something, especially a while ago, because I think this was like in the first half of the season, sometimes that actually ends up being true because a lot of people tend to forget about it. So just keep that in mind. Steven said there might not be a big bad, so you never know, there might actually not be a big bad, and Emiko is just playing a game that is just sort of troubling Team Arrow at this point in time. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this video and what gets you excited in the trailer and just this episode in general. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.